Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today is my birthday, mofos. I'm diving deeper into the 30s with that 3-1, son. In honor of this special day, I'm gonna be looking at a special movie, Bloody Birthday, which came out in 1981. I have a fondness for a certain type of horror movie, ones that are naturally schlocky, sincerely shoddy, and unceasingly interesting. I'm talking about gemstones like Sleepaway Camp, which is a fever dream of bizarre line deliveries.
Oh, well, that's all water under the bridges, I always say.
Ice Cream Man, where a kid runs around with a pillow under his shirt for most of the movie.
Anybody want a bite?
And Blood Rage, which is both unexpectedly violent and a depiction of the strangest human behavior you've ever seen.
It's not cranberry sauce.
One of my biggest fears is that there are no more movies like those out there for me to see. So boy was I relieved when I discovered Bloody Birthday. Bloody Birthday is a no-budget killer kid movie directed by Ed Hunt, who had previously made some softcore porn and an alien documentary, and who would go on to write and direct, let's see here, a 1996 Windows CD-ROM game called The Jungle Book: The New Adventures of Mowgli.
That's right. Lottie says the entire jungle is counting on you.
With a director like that, Bloody Birthday could easily just be your run-of-the-mill slasher with a bunch of kills and gratuitous nudity. And it is! But it's also got heart, damn it, since the killer kids are played by some killer kid actors. Sure, it may not have the most graphic murders or the most interesting plot, but this movie does have Curtis, and that's good enough for me. So join me as I blow out the candles and unwrap the kills in Bloody Birthday. The movie begins during the Great California Leaf Gale of 1970. Lost a lot of good leaves that day, we did. There's a solar eclipse taking place, which even this hospital's doctor stares at without protective eyewear. But maybe he'll be fine. This seems less like an actual eclipse that they filmed, and more like a bunch of pictures from a science textbook dissolving to one another. As the eclipse takes place, 3 separate women give birth, though we only hear about it in voiceover dialogue. Birthing scenes are just too big budget, I guess. A week shy of a decade later, a couple of horny teenagers named Annie Smith and Duke Benson are making out hard against a tombstone in a cemetery. The only sexier place than against a cold gravestone is inside a freshly dug grave, so these teens continue their cemetery sexy time 6 feet under, until dirt starts getting shoveled onto them and the guy gets a shovel to the face, twice actually. Annie gets a jump rope around her neck, choking her out, and when Duke tries to save her, he gets a couple more shovel thwacks. They're buried underground, maybe while still alive, along with the jump rope's handle that the assailants never saw break off. The next day, a cop comes to the elementary school, since everyone knows that's the best place to find murder suspects, and to mold obedient citizens.
Does anybody know why it's important to cooperate with the police? Curtis?
The job of the police is to protect people and help them if they're in trouble.
Now, I know that little bastard looks like a full-on narc, but trust me when I tell you please that Curtis is a stone cold G. Don't fuck with Curtis, I mean it. Aw, kid, you fucked with Curtis. Big mistake. We've actually seen Curtis's kid actor, Billy Jane, on the Kill Count before. Little man was Brett Camber, the kid who owned Cujo. Curtis is one of the 3 kids who were born under that eclipse. Another is Debbie, this human porcelain doll, who's the daughter of the cop up there, whose name is Sheriff Brody. Yeah, really. Oh, and the 3rd kid is Steven, but he's not nearly as cool as the other 2. Step it up, Steven! They all get anxious when they see Debbie's dad has their jump rope handle, and they stay after class together to talk to their teacher, Miss Davis, played by Susan Strasberg, daughter of Lee Strasberg, sometimes known as the father of method acting in America. What the hell is she doing in this movie? The kids ask Miss Davis if the class can be excused from homework next Monday on account of it's their birthday, but I guess they didn't ask with enough sincere emotional expression.
Just because you all have the same birthday doesn't mean that you're special.
Oh, we special all right, lady. Special crazy. They're also special pervy, with Debbie hosting peep shows for the boys. Only a quarter now, y'all. She lets them stare through a hole in her closet at her sister Beverly, played by Julie Brown, who would go on to write, produce, and star in Earth Girls Are Easy, where she also sang a song from her EP Goddess in Progress called 'Cause I'm a Blonde.
I see people working, it just makes me giggle, 'cause I don't have to work, I just have to jiggle, 'cause I bomb
Julie Brown was a pretty successful comedian in the 80s, which is why it's so weird to see her here in a role that mostly consists of this very extended strip sequence. Yeah, oh wow, it goes on for so damn long that Curtis has to put more money in the meter. Looks like the investment paid off for him though. Bev the Red meets up with her friend Joyce so the two of them can walk around looking like they in the OG Halloween. They're stopped by Sheriff Brody, who tells them to follow a curfew, earning him some mockery from his daughter that dates this movie hard.
One murder in 20 years and he thinks he's Kojak.
Sheriff Brody continues on home, where his other daughter, Debbie, is jumping rope. But that's not all she's doing. She's also straight up plotting.
Daddy, come here. I want to show you something.
Don't fall for it, man. Little girl's got a skateboard on the— oh, never mind, you good. He sees that Debbie's jump rope is missing a handle, and as she distracts him with an evil smile, Steven jumps out and bashes him with a baseball bat. I think you're gonna need a bigger bat, kid. Oh, nope, never mind, he did. Shit, maybe I shouldn't have undersold Steven. Dude's obviously the muscle of the group. Still, Curtis is the brains, who directs them to position the body by the stairs for their cover-up. Debbie yells that her daddy fell, and all in all, this would be the perfect traumatizing crime, if not for a witness in the form of Joyce's kid brother Timmy, who randomly saw it happen. Watch your back now, Tim! There's a funeral for Sheriff Brody with all the kids in town, and as her dad is lowered into the ground, Debbie silently plots with her fellow Eclipse kids to take care of Timmy, the witness to their crime. Their plan involves a game of junkyard hide and seek, and Curtis acting like the ruthless son-of-a-bitch he is.
Don't copy our hiding place, or I'll shoot you.
Using the tried and true chicken bark 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 technique, Curtis convinces Timmy to get into an old icebox, then promptly locks the kid inside, surely triggering many a parental fear. With that mission accomplished, there's only one thing for Curtis to do in a moment like this: strut. Yo, Steven, what's up, my man? Timmy grows sweaty and desperate in the icebox, which is probably starting to seem worse than that haunted house his parents bought in Amityville. Eventually, he's able to unscrew a metal slat and use it to unlock the door from the inside. Using the strength given to him by that Mickey Mouse watch, Timmy finally succeeds and earns a triumphant fanfare for his escape. That time, the music was actually in the movie. That wasn't me. As they make a scrapbook of their murder victims, the Eclipse triplets, mock their teacher, Miss Davis, whose full name is Viola Davis. Yeah, really. The next day, Curtis walks into the school kitchen packing, and Miss Davis pays for thinking it's just a prop gun when Curtis shows her he ain't playing. He shoots her in cold blood, and the teacher collapses onto some sponges that kinda look like blocks of cheese. Yeah, best clean up this murder scene nice and Gouda with those cheesy squeegees, kids. While walking home from school that day, Timmy is invited into Debbie's treehouse.
Have you ever played doctor?
Could we get a parent out here? Turns out Debbie didn't have any medical plans in mind though. She was thinking more along the lines of meltdown. But a ringing phone thwarts her plans and Timmy pieces out, none the wiser. Better luck next time, you little monster. A forged note, purportedly by her brother Timmy, lures Joyce out to the junkyard, where she's spied upon by a junk car driving ghost. This ghost needs a hand to get the car going, but together, Curtis and Steven are able to drive around trying to run over Joyce. It's the best junkyard horror scene since some dog piss brought Freddy Krueger back from the dead. Although it does sound like Lori Lethin, and also maybe the kid actors, had to do their own stunts for it.
There was a car and there was really no child safety anything. It was low budget. It was different back then.
Well, I'm glad they ended up okay. Curtis is nearly able to mastermindedly kill Joyce without even being behind the wheel. But instead, she dodges at the last minute and sends this actual car driving over this actual ledge. Holy shit, that was awesome! No, seriously, that was one kick-ass action scene, especially for a movie with no budget. I love it. That night, Curtis plays Dirty Harry in the mirror and even does a half-decent gun twirl before sneaking out his window and going to shoot some kids. He's thwarted during his first attempt, so he sneaks through the streets in his jumpsuit and tries a second time at the window of Joyce and Timmy's house. This attempt, too, is cut short. Drat! And the poor kid has to walk out of the bushes and move to Plan C, which is apparently to shoot some teens looking to fuck around in the back of a shaggin' wagon. Now, I should probably mention that during this whole movie, there's an astrology thing going on, but even though though it's a persistent theme, I don't think most of the scenes are important. Just know that it serves as some kind of explanation for the eclipselets and why they're so deranged.
Because there was an eclipse the day she was born, both the sun and the moon were blocking Saturn, so there should be something missing from her personality.
Why?
Because Saturn controls her emotions and the way that you treat people.
Cool. Back to Kurt the flirt. He climbs all up onto that van hood and peers through the windshield at a once again uncomfortably lengthy lovemaking scene. That guy just put her boob in his mouth. What kind of set was this? Eventually, Curtis knocks on the van and murders both the teens when they open the door. The naked dude gets a bullet to the head and the naked lady gets shot twice off screen. It's motherfucking birthday time, which means Curtis is entitled to some cake. Knife blade. Now blow out the candles, you three. Damn it, Steven, get in there, man. Step it up, Steven. This party has everything. Presents for the birthday kids, cake you can eat off of Mighty Mouse plates, a juggling clown who can't say no. Wait, what was that last one? The party's even attended by the guy who delivered these kids, that eclipse-staring doctor who's played by Jose Ferrer in an even more what the hell's he doing here role. Ferrer was the first Hispanic actor to ever win an Oscar for his role in 1950's Cyrano de Bergerac. 3 decades later, he's doing this. In a big brain evil mastermind move, Curtis goes inside and decorates the desserts with extra frosting, getting Joyce to believe that he's poisoned all the cakes.
What did you do?
Nothing.
This results in a serial cake bashing and a claim that Curtis is a confectionery saboteur. The adults are skeptical towards Joyce though, and to prove his innocence, Kurt's all like, what, this frosting right here? No poison to speak of. It's just sinfully high in calories. Joyce's accusation leaves her looking kinda crazy, meaning Curtis has successfully gaslit her, the little bastard. While looking for some missing nail polish, Beverly Brody finds her sister's little psycho diary with pictures of the movie's 4 victims so far.
That's my private property.
Hey, Debbie, you gotta work on your denial skills, little lady. Beverly burns that book like an offended PTA member, causing Debbie to call for reinforcements.
Come on over right away and bring Steven.
Yeah, but do you really need Steven? I guess not, because Debbie takes things into her own hands and uses a bow and arrow to lure Beverly up close to the peephole between their rooms. When Bev's fully peeping through that hole, Debbie lets loose and kills her sister with an arrow to the eye. You know, you've got to appreciate how neat and tidy these little murderers are. Can't be that mad at a kid who does their chores. Debbie's cleaning accomplices arrive to help her take care of the latest mess. They leave Bev's body out by the trash, and after Debbie tells her mom that the bloodstains are just nail polish, why, she's all cleared for head smooches. Mwah! Eventually, Bev's found, and another funeral is held. And the emotional damage to Mrs. Brody lands her at Meadowvale General for a while. That means the kids are home alone at Debbie's house when that kid who talked shit to Curtis in class earlier starts throwing rocks at her windows or some shit. The eclipselets run out to chase him down the streets of Glendale, and it's actually a pretty solid chase scene, as far as chase scenes starring 9-year-olds go. Yo, Curtis, how you look so fly as you run, man? The evil kids catch up to and try to strangle the other kid with a garden hose. And even though Joyce finds and reprimands them, Curtis has already got this base covered.
Go ahead and call the sheriff. After what you did at the birthday party, he'll think you're crazy.
The kids return to their treehouse and paste Joyce, their next intended victim, into their scrapbook. And even though Joyce is standing in the garage sharpening a pair of scissors, she apparently doesn't suspect anything when Debbie comes by and asks her to babysit her that night. Keep them scissors close, girl. Joyce leaves the scissors behind when she and Timmy go to Debbie's house that night. With Tim fast asleep and Joyce's hearing blocked out by those ear cams, they don't notice when Debbie lets in her bloody birthday bro. They cut the phone line and take aim with that handgun, but Timmy wakes up and cries out, saving his sister's life. We then get jump rope strangling, little girl vase target practice, and fire poker javelins, all while GoldenEye sound effects play. Curtis and Debbie continue trying to shoot at and strangle their foes, but Joyce and Timmy manage to escape into a bedroom and fortify the door behind them. When that little wiener Steven muscles his way through, they just splash him with a fishbowl and stuff the kid into a locker. God damn it, Steven! Get it together, man! Curtis finally corners them in the living room, but after a dozen or so shots, his revolver's finally out of ammo, meaning it's time for a boy fight! Hold the baby buster short. Joyce and Timmy fucking hog-tie guy Curtis as Debbie sneaks out the patio door. She intercepts her mom on the way home from the hospital and blames Curtis and Steven for everything that just happened. Mrs. Brody sees the police arrive and, trusting her daughter's innocence, promptly turns around and drives straight out of town. That means only Curtis and Steven get arrested for their crimes. But let me tell you something, fam. I think Curtis is gonna be just fine doing time. The movie ends with Debbie and her mom on the lam, traveling under aliases and trying to keep their noses clean.
From now on, I'm gonna be your good little girl.
Aw, that's nice. You know what? I really think I can trust you on that one, Debbie. After all, hey, wait a minute. What's this dead body back here? God damn it, Debbie. Can you please just go one day without murdering someone? One day! How many candles got blown out in Bloody Birthday? Let's find out and get to the numbers. From me? Oh, I shouldn't have. 8 people died in Bloody Birthday, and with 4 male victims and 4 female victims, everyone got an equal slice of this birthday cake chart. I can call it a cake chart, it's my birthday, fuck off. With a runtime of 85 minutes, that left us with a kill on average every 10.63 minutes. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Beverly Brody. None of these deaths were all that graphic, so I think I've got to go with the arrow in the eye. Dull machete for lamest kill will go to the naked lady in the van, who was shot to death off screen. And that's it. Bloody Birthday came out in 1981, 8 years before yours truly popped out into this world. On Friday is Sinister 2, but until then, I'm James A. Janice. This has been the Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching my extra birthday Kill Count. I want to thank some patrons like Don Dufemia, Zach Phelps, Tanya Yaniris Martinez, Michael Dawson, and Kelsey Morgan. Since it's my birthday, I guess I'll do my annual ask for you to follow me on social media, at DeadMeatJames on Twitter and Instagram. Do it. More followers will give me, I don't know, maybe one of those fucking check marks, finally. That'd be a nice birthday present. Twitter. Thanks everyone. Be good people.